I'm John Bensley and I'm the unit leader for GSZ 634 in the Public Sector Management Program. That means I get to look after the workplace project that occurs at the end of your journey through the PSMP. The workplace project, I think, is, if not the best, one of the best aspects of the PSMP, because you get the opportunity to apply all of the learning that you've learned in the previous 3 units to a real, actual workplace issue. There are a couple of pieces of assessment. There's a plan at the beginning of the workplace project where you set out your proposal, and we go through an iterative process there of a draft and then the formal assessment. And then towards the end of the unit, there's the actual workplace project report that you prepare, which outlines the findings and the conclusions and the recommendations that you've undertaken throughout your workplace project. The workplace project probably sits around 3 key roles. There's you as the person who's undertaking the project. There's your sponsor, which is basically the person within the organisation that you're delivering the report to, or most importantly, delivering the value to. And then there's the academic advisor. All of the details about the workplace project are found on the community site for the PSMP. When you're thinking about your workplace project at the beginning, give thought to what your motivation is. Everybody's got a different motivation, and it's important that you align what you're doing with your workplace project with a motivation that resonates. Some people, when they do their workplace project, they choose a project that probably relates to a passion that they've got, or an interest, or something that's a real burning desire within them. Other people will do their project because it's something that's been given to them or it's been mandated. At the end of the day, the workplace project can therefore either address something that needs to be done or something that can be done. Once you've identified what your motivation is and you're starting to think about how you might define a project, be guided by the 3 basic types of projects that we have in the PSMP. The first project we have is a project that's a discrete, specific amount of work. It's bounded, it starts here and it finishes there. That's probably the most common type of project. Other people probably look at doing a project that's what we would call our tier 2 or our second type of project, which is one part of work that's part of a larger parcel of work. So it might be a change initiative, or it might be a large implementation or a large project, and what they choose for their workplace project is just one element within that larger process. And finally, the third type of project, which is the least common, but nonetheless can be very challenging and very rewarding in terms of public value, is our third or tier 3 project, where within an organisation or across organisations or within a network of organisations and agencies, you've got a multi-agency, multi-departmental program where there are a number of different activities, and different people that are either in the same cohort or even a different cohort might actually all collaborate together to work on different components of that larger transformational project. Obviously, that project needs a little bit more coordination, and there's a higher level of involvement that as the academic advisor or the unit lead I need to have with the sponsor to make sure that all of the necessary elements are tied in. But as you can see, we've got 3 different types of projects that cater for 3 different types of undertakings or 3 different packaging up of work. Once you've understood what your motivation is and you've designed an appropriate type of project, the next thing to do is to recognise that the workplace project is really a journey. And it's a journey that you undertake over the course of the PSMP. So in GSZ 631, what we focus on there is we focus on helping you find and clarify the actual opportunity for the project type that you've chosen. At that particular point in time, you might even come up with some hypothesised value that your project is going to deliver. In Unit 2 or GSZ 632, we focus on helping you locate that project within organisational space. That's when we try to help you understand who the stakeholders are, but most importantly, who the sponsors are going to be, so that you can get that all-important sponsor relationship bedded down. You can understand what the sponsor requirements are leading into Unit 3, where the balance of the stakeholders can be engaged, and you can identify what the balance of the stakeholder requirements are. So that when you actually get to Unit 4 or GSZ 634, you've got a clear picture of the opportunity, you've established the relationship with the sponsor, and you've identified the requirements of all the relevant stakeholders. So that means that when you get to Unit 4, you're in a very clear position to commence your project, to give yourself maximum opportunity to deliver maximum value and to get a maximum value out of the activity. So when it comes to choosing your project, I'd encourage you to choose carefully. Give yourself plenty of time and plenty of opportunity to cast your net wide, to seek the opinions of your peers, to seek the opinions of other people in the cohort, to choose a project that aligns with your motivations and is achievable within the time frame that you've got. The time frame you've got is important because the scope and the boundary around your work is going to determine how effectively you're going to be able to deliver within expectations. The expectations of the project will be that you provide some public value or some organisational benefit. The clearer you are in what you're doing, the clearer you are in the public value that you're creating, the more successful and the more rewarding the workplace project is going to be. If you have any questions, I'd encourage you to speak to your unit coordinator, or if you'd like to get in contact with me, certainly get in contact with me, because we would like to help you make the most of your experience in Unit 4, which is the workplace project.